I want to go to what he tweeted next after that, because this one was, I think, even more relevant for what we're actually seeing and dealing with right now in real time.
Yeah.
But he had comments about agencies being lazy with their roles and being deemed arbitrary and capricious, which is exactly what the judge in the, I think it was the most recent, the Uniswap defeat of the SEC at the hands of Uniswap.
Yeah.
I mean, they've lost so much recently, I can't keep track anymore. So I can't remember which one it was. I think it was the Uniswap one, where they're essentially saying the Gensler and the SEC are just kind of what we all know they're doing, throwing a bunch of shit at the wall and just seeing what sticks, in so many words. But Richard's been talking about making a relevant, substantive comment. And if they don't respond to it, they can invalidate the rule that they made, basically. And that the APA has lots of rules the agencies must follow to the letter or risk being overturned in court. He said smart lawyers are referencing those rules in some of their comments. So what do you think he's getting at here? Because I think that he's really providing a somewhat easy way for a lot of these pro crypto attorneys or anybody fighting on behalf of crypto to respond to what we know is lazy accusations coming from the SEC.
Yeah, I think it's a call to action. I think that he realizes that we have a smart community, and embedded within the smart community, we do have lawyers, and we do have all sorts of folks that might be able to create these substantive comments to be able to go in and maybe slow the process down. This is an administrative thing, so it sounds like he's fighting on an administrative front. He's playing ball. Okay, you got to play by the rules. We can slow this thing down, and ultimately, I think really if I were him, that would be one of my key tactics and strategies right now, is to slow this whole process down, because there's so many other cases that are happening right now that are being litigated that have a massive amount of precedent and impact on what's going to be happening to us. So I think it's in his best interest to slow all this down.
Yeah, I think so too. Ewok, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think everything that he's doing is well calculated, and I agree. Slowing it down is the best course. I mean, there's really no alternative at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you got a new president coming. Slow it down. Janet Yellen's freaking 84 years old. Maybe she croaks, and then Gary Gensler gets promoted. And then, we've got Coinbase court case, we got XRP, and we have a litany of others. And it's all happening real time. So I'm just slow it down. Take every opportunity you can to abuse the administrative system to get this thing to slow. And that's what I would be doing.
And he's providing all kind of documentation for those guys to assist, maybe get some sort of ruling that we can set precedents to relate to this case,
Yeah. I think he's again, I think he's one brain is really good. A lot of times one genius is better than 100 normies, but there's other geniuses embedded out there. So maybe they pick up on the hints here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this kind of what you're saying, Rags, about just slowing down the entire process. I mean, that's kind of what the SEC is doing to DeFi and crypto themselves too, and especially with some of the just ridiculous claims against Richard, as far as like specifically using sacrifice funds and I mean, really everything that they claimed. I don't even remember everything in the 28-page complaint, but we know it was riddled with errors and stuff like that. So it's kind of like their attempts to throw a bunch of stuff at the wall and see what sticks that they aren't even that educated on, and Richard responding to it and trying to help others respond to it in a way where we are educated on it, and you're actually taking the time to, and no uncertain terms, actually provide real responses to these things, which they're not doing at all. Really.
So here's, speaking to the lawyer, what they do with all this is they create, for lack of a better term, they create layers. Okay, so maybe the first layer that they come up against, they have to be able to fight and defeat that layer to get to the next one. Okay, and the next one might be BS, but let's say Richard beats that next layer. Okay, cool. He's beat 2 layers now, but now he's got to go to the third layer, because again, they're throwing everything and they're trying to make it stick. So that's a tactic that's used by these lawyers and by these regulatory agencies to try to get a win. Make no mistake, they targeted Richard because it's such a high profile thing. And they felt like they had a good chance at actually winning this. And because if they don't win this, they lose face. And if they don't win this, they can't collect the funds. And it looks really, really bad on the agency. So whatever they have or whatever they had, they think that it's significant enough to be able to defeat this man in court. You know, I asked these types of questions. I said, okay, the misspellings in the court documents and all of the, like, okay, so PulseX isn't on Ethereum, it's on Pulse
Right.
Chain, you know. Part of this whole process is the courts actually allowing them to amend and change some of those things to be accurate before they move the process forward. So it's not like these things are going to cause the court case to be thrown out. Okay. And there's a lot of misconceptions about that. No, it's not about that. If they bring these charges to the forefront, if there's any sort of substantial evidence that they do have, and trust me, they haven't brought everything to the forefront. This is a game they're trying to win. You know, who knows what they got, and who knows if what they have could send this to court. I don't know, but we're gonna find out.